Hey guys! Since large cities continue to expand and the need for modern, convenient infrastructure grows, with city bridges being one of the main components, we'd like to show you 10 of the most unusual moving bridges. Rotating bridge in London. Now, the idea of a bridge that can change its shape comes from an English sculptor who even won an architectural prize for his creation. The structure can rotate into an octagon and uses powerful hydraulic systems. If passenger or cargo ships are moving down the canal, the bridge will assume its folded shape. Then it unfolds, letting pedestrians easily cross over from one side to another. It's just 66 feet long, but despite its small size and lack of rich history, it's one of London's most beloved bridges. Steel, as well as glass and lumber, were used in its construction. This architectural wonder is enjoyed by tens of thousands every day who go there to appreciate the genius design with their own eyes. There's nothing else like it in the whole world, after all. Slauerhofbrug Bascule Bridge. It was built in 2000 and is probably one of the strangest bridges in the world. It is in Leeuwarden, Netherlands. This square platform bridge looks like a catapult 50 feet long and wide, and it connects two parts of a road. The central section is simply raised by a huge level with counterweights and is held while ships pass by. From an architectural point of view, this bridge is a distant descendant of drawbridges in medieval castles with an industrial appearance. The square platform is raised 10 times a day almost vertically. This moving bridge is quite the rarity and was named in honor of the 20th century Dutch poet Jan Slauerhoff. But the locals just call it the Flying Drawbridge. Giant Falkirk Wheel. The world's only revolving ship elevator. It's one of the most interesting technical tourist sites in Scotland. The Falkirk Wheel is 115 feet tall and connects two water canals at different heights. There once was a network of 11 floodgates, but the river trolley took hours to pass it, and this elevator can move a ship from one canal to the other in just one revolution. Built on the edge of the millennium and ceremoniously opened by Elizabeth II in 2002, the wheel is the world's first revolving shiplifter. In 2003, it was called the best original project in industrial design. It operates on the Archimedes principle, where the weight of water and the ship are balanced by the whole design, and the elevator requires almost no energy to rotate. The wheel turns 180 degrees in 5 minutes and only consumes 5 kilowatts of energy. How's that possible? Well, let's look at some math. The scoop can hold 95,000 gallons of water and is 69 feet long and 20 feet wide. The ship should be able to fit, have a water displacement of less than 53,000 gallons, a height above the water of up to 9 feet, and should be no more than 4.5 feet under the water. Now, the ship that enters moves exactly as much water as it weighs itself. So the weight of the scoop, either with a fully packed shift or without one, always weighs the same. So the rotation requires just a small amount of energy, about 20 kilowatts. An extremely elegant design, isn't it? Now, the crucial step is matching the boats on the lower and upper levels. During the matching, the channel's closed floodgates open to let the water level in the boat and canal equalize. Then the ships can move freely. A serious problem arose when building the aqueduct that connects the Union Canal to the Falkirk Wheel. There were remnants of the so-called Antonine Wall there, the wall whose construction began in 142 during the rule of Roman Emperor Antonius Pius, runs through the entire central part of Scotland up to the Clyde River. Because of differing opinions, it was decided to run the canal below the wall. This resulted in the construction of a 475-foot underground tunnel to keep from damaging the ancient monument. The Falkirk Wheel is definitely one of the grandest water structures, and the designers guarantee operation for 120 years. Pont Jacques-Chavannes-Delmas. It's a vertical life bridge that crosses over the Gironde River in Bordeaux, France. It was opened in 2013 by President François Hollande. The bridge is 360 feet long, it's about 164 feet above water, and it raises 120 times a year to let huge ships pass under it, heading to the ports surrounding Bordeaux. The bridge has 4 support towers that raise and lower the central part that supports 4 lanes, 2 for cars and 2 for pedestrians or cyclists. As of 2013, the bridge is the longest vertical life bridge in Europe. It was named in honor of Jacques Chavannes-Delmas, a former French prime minister and mayor of Bordeaux. The Pont Ydraig Harbour Bridge. It was opened in 2013 in Rhyl, northern Wales. It became an important milestone for a 15-mile cycling route, as well as for pedestrians. The locals hope it will play a role in reviving their city. It had a multi-million-dollar budget and is part of the Harbor Restoration Program. 2 composite floors, the Dragon's Wings, were designed by a company using reinforced composite fiber plastic for the bridge's floors, which decreases their weight and makes the lifting cycle faster and more energy efficient. The bridge is composed of 2 mirrored halves weighing 17,000 pounds and stretching 100 feet in length, attached by hinges to the central console that is simultaneously raised by cables that run to the almost 164-foot-tall central mast that contains the raising mechanism. Now, the deck of the bridge's central section opens up like flower petals 157 feet tall. The mechanism operates several times a day to let ships heading towards or away from the wharf through. Submersible Bridge. The Corinth Canal in Greece cuts through a narrow isthmus and separates the Peloponnese from the Greek mainland. It connects the Gulf of Corinth in the Ionian Sea with the Saronic Gulf in the Aegean Sea. Although the canal eliminates a 435-mile bypass, it's too narrow for modern cargo ships. It can only take in ships who are less than 54 feet wide and have a draft under 24 feet. Ships can pass through the canal single file and one direction. Large ships have to be towed. The Corinth Canal is used by about 11,000 ships a year. In 1988, 2 submersible bridges were built along the edges of the canal. The deck of the submersible bridge is lowered 26 feet into the water to let ships pass through the canal. The main benefit of lowering the bridge instead of raising it is that it doesn't create a height limit for the canal, so tall ships can easily pass through. That is especially important for sail ships. Additionally, the lack of hanging structures is more aesthetically pleasing. Horn Bridge. It's a folding bridge in Kiel, Germany. It's a 3-segment bascule bridge. Its main span is 84 feet long, and it folds into an N shape. The bridge was built in 1997 and cost $10.5 million. It is 16 feet wide. This pedestrian bridge is especially important for passengers since it connects the Norwegian ferry terminal to the central train station. At first, the mechanism had constant issues, so the bridge is unofficially called the Folds Knot Bridge. It usually opens once an hour, letting small boats and ships into the Gulf. Vizcaya Bridge. It's a transporter bridge over the Nervion River. This unusual hybrid of a bridge and ferry connects Portugalete and Las Arenas in the Spanish Biscay province. The bridge looks like a hanging bridge without any support along its horizontal portion between the coasts for cars and pedestrians. It is supported by two paired 200-foot-tall metal towers. The central span, 148 feet in the air, is over 520 feet long. The Vizcaya Transporter Bridge is the oldest of its type. It was built in 1893 by a student of Gustave Eiffel, the architect Alberto Palacio. He did an excellent job of providing a connection between the cities without interfering with the river traffic. The ferry bridge can transport up to 6 cars and several dozen people at a time. It only takes 1.5 minutes to cross the distance between the cities. Scale Lane Footbridge. To connect the old and new parts of Kingston upon Hull in England over the Hull River, the Scale Lane Bridge was built. It looks like a giant apostrophe and has a very unusual swinging mechanism. Like with any other separating bridge, it lets ships on the Hull through, but it rotates to the side instead of raising. Thanks to this unusual design, pedestrians don't need to get off. While moving, people can stay on the bridge and casually look at the passing ships. The project cost the city $9 million. A majority of the construction is concrete and steel that weighs 1,000 tons. It is 160 feet long. It can hold up to 4,000 people when together and just 1,000 when separated. Thanks to the bridge, residents and tourists can visit museums in the Museum Quarter of Old Town and the main tourist attraction, the Deep Aquarium, which is on the other side of the river. Millennium Bridge. This pedestrian and cyclist bridge crosses the River Tyne in England and connects Gateshead to Newcastle. It has a unique design and is the world's first tilt bridge. Construction of this marvel was possible thanks to architects Wilkinson and Eyre, who, in 1996, won a contest for the best pedestrian bridge design, which also lets large ships pass on a river. Their project was the most original and bold of all in the contest. Construction of the Millennium Bridge took 2 years, but it set a record for its design with a mind-numbing accuracy of 2 millimeters. In its normal position, the bridge's arches prevent small ships from passing under. But as soon as a large ship approaches, the bridge rotates 40 degrees on its axis, where the upper arch lowers and the pedestrian arch raises. This results in both arches in equally balanced positions and leaves an 82-foot gap that lets even large ships pass through. It takes about 4.5 minutes to rotate. Well, that's all for today. Leave a like, comment, let me know which one of these bridges you want to go check out, and we'll see you again next time.